Hello, hello, hello. This is me being Genki. It's funny. I just said to Kurt that I'm going to be energetic on stream, and then as soon as I come, I'm like, hello, hello. It's hard for me to keep the energy up. It's been too long since I've been a teacher. Yeah.
I also like how we just use Genki like casually, as if that's like the phrase.
Yeah.
An English-speaking audience would.
I
I
mean,
mean, an English-speaking audience would know it, right?
depends
Like,
how much they're into anime. But yeah, I use like Ganbatte,
imagine
Genki, Dame, those words in like regular parlance.
Baka. Yeah, imagine
I
everyone
don't
that
say
likes.
Baka, but yeah.
Well, doesn't everyone who likes games? There must be some crossover with anime. Zilphia, do you watch anime? Hey, Zilphia.
I don't
Like,
think
do
so.
you watch anime?
I would guess Sophia doesn't, if I had to guess.
I'm gonna guess that Zilphia does. I
Oh.
think Zilphia watches. What was it? The
I do.
the magic.
That's right.
Have you seen the Ancient Magus's Bride, Zilphia? Ancient Magus's Bride. That's actually an anime we should talk about on stream. Do you know what Ancient
no,
Magus's
because I don't
Bride
watch
is?
anime. I'm a gamer who doesn't watch anime, really. Okay. I mean, I have watched anime, but I don't watch anime.
Yeah, but no, I do think that Ancient Magus's Bride is like a it's about a Japanese high school student who basically gets like some kind of statue, I think, which is from Great Britain, and it's like a Celtic magic inspired anime. So yeah, that's I haven't seen it, but Chrissy's a big fan.
Wait, Sylvia, is it good? Oh, Chrissy's a fan. Cool. Sylvia, did you like Ancient Magus Bride? Magus Bride?
Yeah, she said that she's seen Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah.
And then they also have a 1-year sub with
Crunchyroll. I was very wrong. I did, yeah, it was really good. Alright, cool. I'll put it on my
if you roll a die, you roll a die, it's gonna be like 80-20 that average game fan's gonna like anime and or something to do with Japanese culture. Like, I feel like the only reason you don't watch anime is because you live in Japan. Right?
Well, I am. So before I went to Japan, obviously I watched Pokemon as a kid, but I don't really think that necessarily counts. It was, I mean, I know it does count, but like I didn't know it was anime, right? I was just watching cartoons on TV. But when I got older, while I was at uni, someone convinced me to watch Death Note, and that was my first anime. And then I was like, okay, anime can be interesting. And then I watched a few others. Soul something.
Soul Eater?
Soul Eater. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Soul Eater. And another one that I can't remember now. And then I went to Japan, and everyone was watching Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan. So I watched that and then got bored. And but only after 2 seasons I got bored. They never went to the basement, dude. They need to get to the basement quicker.
Spoiler alert. I think they make it to the basement.
Yeah, and it's even more. I remember finding out that they did go to the basement eventually. Then looked it up and I was like, "That's just awful. I'm not watching this anymore." And then I didn't watch it anymore.
I actually haven't finished it. I heard Chrissy's a fan and she finished it. I was a big fan before until there was like a small hiatus, and then I tried reading the manga, and the manga was really hard. But I think I'm actually, that was a long time ago. I think I might be at the level where I can like read it again.
Yeah.
And Zilphia says that they're super into anime and Soul Eater is good. And Sorayuki, Yuki, how are you? Hello, Sorayuki, how are you today? Your name sounds Japanese, and we are talking about Japanese things. Are you Japanese, or do you like Japanese things? That's not what this stream is about. This stream is about making Celtic fantasy-inspired TTRPGs. But you know, they're both on islands, and they have to do with little, you know.
We're not going to segue yet. So then I was with Jasmine, and she would like wanted me to watch some like classic animes, and so we watched Samurai Champloo, and then that blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like great. The fusion of anime and the music, and obviously I'm a big fan of Nuchabes, so yeah, that blew me away. And then of course, what's this Space Cowboy?
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, yeah, was amazing, and yeah,
agreed.
Yeah.
I like short run type animes. One anime I could recommend to everyone if you haven't seen it, and Zilphia and Sorayuki, if you like anime, I recommend Macross Plus. Macross Plus is one of my favorite all time, and I watched that again recently.
I've never heard of it.
And it is, so it's pretty interesting. Do you know what Robotech is?
No.
So anyway, it's one of the first like popular robot animes in America, and they made a sequel to it, and it deals with themes of like AI and like humanism, and it's a short series. It's only like 6 episodes, or the movie, which is 90 minutes. But it has a lot to do with AI themes, and it's the first anime to combine like traditional animation with digital animation. But the way it combines digital animation with is so fucking good because it doesn't look dated.
Yeah.
They don't rely on it. They don't rely. They see the value of like traditional animation, but then they integrate the digital animation in a very like subtle and tasteful way that even like 25 years later, it still looks fucking amazing. Like it looks as good as anything, in my opinion, that's being produced today. And the music is excellent. You'd like it because that's the same composer as Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, sick. Cool. All right.
Yeah, it's Yoko Kanno. So Yoko Kanno is a composer in that movie, and it has to do with like one of the main plot points is there's an AI idol who's like very popular and she's doing like a concert. So it has everything to do with like themes of today with AI and the value of human effort and art and a competition.
Nice.
And it's like a dude. I don't know. I can't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Watch Macross Plus.
Macross Plus. I'll check it out. And good segue art. Yeah. So Saruki in chat says that they're an artist. Cool. I'm actually coming to the end. I'm not hiring any more artists at the moment, but I'd still like to see your portfolio because why not? You can post a link in the chat and I'll check it out later. And we are, if you want to stick around, we're about to do art review where I go through some of the artwork that we've had coming in for the book that we're making. Yes, we're working a new campaign. We are creating a world guide for our Celtic lands of Avalon. And we're about to do art review. So let's go do art review.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now Darren is basically the art director for this project, and he's been arguably been an art director for what, like 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years now.
6 years now. So yeah, send the portfolio over to Darren, and he could give you some notes.
Let's see.
Either posting in the chat, or if you're not comfortable sending in the chat, maybe sending a message on one of our social media platforms. So if you want to DM.
Yeah. So let's start.
Well, if you drop your portfolio link here, that's fine. That just means that everyone will be able to see it, which is as long as you're comfortable with that, Yuki.
Yeah.
We are, but it's your portfolio.
So I think I showed some of this last week, but now it's finished. So these were the sketches by our newest artist, Anselmi, for the Face Seeker for the Court of Triumphs, who's a Highland warrior. And these were the original concept sketches. And I decided I kind of liked the calm, noble-esque stance in the top left here. And this was the work in progress, which was already amazing. I think this is what I showed her last week on stream, and Zilphi was like, that's great, and I also think it's great. It's so good. But the final version is just even better, which blows my mind. So that's the work in progress, and then the final version is here. And goddamn, it's so much better.
Yep, that looks good.
Yeah, just the texture details, brush strokes on all of the clothing. And then his face just has like a nice ruggedness to it that fits right. I don't know. I just think, sure. Sylvia. Yeah, I just read that this guy might be a charming chap. They did a great drop on him. Yeah. Should I hold him out as a face of the book in advertising? Probably.
No, yeah, it was like this would make a great miniature.
Yeah, I know. It's too late for that, unfortunately.
Oh no, I know. But I mean, you keep that in your
yeah, exactly. But actually, we need names for these characters as well.
That will be Ronald McHighlander.
Yeah. Of course.
No, okay.
Yeah. Jim Tan Laundry. Hello, welcome to chat. You say sup, lads. Hello. Do you know us or are you new here? Laundry. And welcome.
No, I remember Jim Tan.
You know.
Jim Tan, welcome back to the stream. And Soryuki, thanks for sharing your portfolio. We will give it a look.
Yeah, I will copy and paste it into my browser right now, but I won't show it on stream. I'll look it up after stream. Control C, and I'll put that over here. Okay, and then have a little bit more art to show as well, because I can't remember what you've seen and what you haven't seen. But
Darren's looking for that. I'll pose a question both to this chat and to anyone on YouTube. If you're an artist and you're someone who aspires to be a professional artist, what are your goals? Like what are you trying to do? Are you looking to get into this industry? Are you looking to have a book? Are you looking to make a manga? Like, what are you interested in as an artist? Because a lot of people that watch our stream, I imagine, and hope, are artists as well. So we'd love to hear your story and your goal and your dreams. And Soryuki has a small request. Please feel free to drop the request. Whether or not it can be fulfilled, that's a different thing. But we'll be pretty frank about whether or not it's a thing that we can say yes or no to. So, all right, what were you looking at here, Mr. Darren?
So these are concept sketches by our lead artist, Rafa, for a new depiction of a Drake. And they're pretty good. they're pretty good. They're okay. He actually said he struggled with it, which is interesting. Because I know he likes drawing monsters. I know he's drawn dragons before, but I think it's been a while since he drew a dragon. So
is also trying to be like original, like trying to.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, I thought it kind of don't be, because I struggle with this with the original book. Where's the original? Actually, I can show you. Let me show you. I can show you. Go back in the way back when machine, and we can see the first depictions of dragons in Afanc, which should be by Ricardo, who was our first artist, and God, do I miss him dearly. He was fantastic. We have this.
Oh yeah, I remember Ricardo. So
yeah.
Oh, let me get to some notes in the chat. So Soryuki says, actually, you're a freelancer and looking for commissions, so that's possible. Can you give you a chance? Can we draw your OC in your style? It'll be highly appreciated. Well, I mean, of course, we'd encourage you to draw things if you'd like, but in terms of our projects, we're not looking for any more commissions. Exactly. So that's a hard ask to make at this time.
I literally commissioned like the last artwork for the book on Monday, I think, or Tuesday. So we're done with art now for a good amount of time.
But similar to this channel, like, keep looking for creators and going on to places, like, do what you're doing now, like hustle, talk to people. Like, there's no put yourself out there, keep talking. Like, that's all you can really do, and be respectful, but also advocate for yourself. So go for it. It might not, right now we're not looking for something, but there may be people who are. So just keep asking around. And if we know anyone that's in your style, of course, we'll refer them to you. And also, Jim Tan says they're making films with your friend, a best friend of 30 years. That's your art. Filmmaking is a wonderful art.
Yeah, it's cool.
I hope
that reminds me. I saw a cool film last night. I wanted to talk about it on stream.
What was that?
I saw a cool film last night, and I wanted to talk about it on stream.
Ooh.
And we're now on stream, so I'll talk about it. I saw a film in the cinema called Tornado. Have you heard of it?
I have not heard of Tornado. Please tell me more.
It's a western set in the Scottish Highlands, featuring a samurai and his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Set in the 1870s, I think, or 1790s, around then. It was really cool. It's made by an upcoming director. I think it's like his second movie, and so it's very indie. I don't think it'll be in the cinema for very long. So if you're in the UK, I think you have a limited amount of time to watch it, really. And you could tell that it was someone's like second movie. Like the script had a few like minor holes in it, or like things that were a little bit awkward, didn't fit quite right in my head. But it didn't really matter. The general story was really interesting. The cinematography was great. The actors were fantastic, and just the conceit of it all was so cool. And it very much had like the Quentin Tarantino kind of vibe to it as well. But it wasn't quite as bombastic. Yeah, it was very cool.
And you said you saw it in the theater?
Yeah, I saw it in cinema. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even heard of this movie. The only movie I heard of lately was Sinners, but okay. And this is not a Japanese movie. It's a British period action drama film.
Yeah, it's set in Scotland, and it's made by a Scottish director.
But it stars a Japanese woman in the lead.
Yes, and the guy is quite recognizable as well. I think he was in Godzilla.
Oh, I see. And she's from was she in? Oh, she was just in Tornado. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, and she was a featured artist on Oricon in 2019. So that sounds good. I will check it out. So if you like Japanese culture, please checking it out. We like film. Whenever you can watch it. Oh yeah, and yeah, this is something to talk about probably off stream, Sorayuki, but it is tricky. Like we can't commit to. I wouldn't put Darren on the spot on saying yes or no to any kind of commission.
Yeah, we can still talk about
Just
it now.
because.
So we're talking about dragons.
Yeah.
We're talking about dragons
But
now.
we'll chat about it. We'll chat about it off stream.
Yeah.
Now Jim Tan says it sounds dope, and it's an original stage, original story.
Yeah,
original
so.
stage.
Yeah.
And we have the dragon. So we have the dragon. So we're talking about the dragon of this is Ricardo, right?
Yeah. So this is the second illustration done for Avalon, like 6 years ago now, I think.
Yeah.
And I remember spending a long time thinking about dragons and how we wanted to pick dragons in our world. But then I kind of came to the conclusion that the general consensus of the Western dragon today is kind of rooted in like ancient European folklore and culture, and so maybe just doing a traditional dragon would be the sensible thing. And so I ended up, these are the references that I used for this illustration back then. I like the idea of black and red scales in the snake. And then I was mostly inspired by, can you guess? I was inspired by the Welsh flag, of course. So I kind of wanted the dragon to emulate the dragons on the Welsh flag, basically.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So that brings us here. Yeah, go on.
Do you know what the origin of the Welsh?
Yeah. It's a few tales. There's mostly it's one particular ancient Welsh tale where there are two dragons that fight. One comes from Wales and it's the red dragon, Drygoch, and then one is a white dragon that comes from England and represents the Saxons. And the dragons fight, and the red dragon wins, and then slumbers under a mountain, so under a hillside at the edge of Wales, and it was said to arise once again if Wales is ever threatened, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's why it gets the Fairy Queen. The Fairy Queen's dragon is a white dragon. Just to represent an upending on a violent society. Yeah.
There you go. So now these are Raphael.
Yes.
These three dragons.
Yeah.
And these are they did 3. I want to see the one on the end. I have a feeling that I'm the minority, but it'll probably be my favorite. For whatever reason, I like these kind of like stubby dragons. I don't know what it is about them. They remind me of like stubby, pig-nosed, ugly boys.
So whenever I like commission artwork, I usually give suggestions for 2 ideas, and then the third one I leave up to the artist to do whatever they want. To see if they surprise me. And sometimes that's been the choice, but this time it wasn't the choice, I'm afraid, Kurt. Yeah.
Wow, that's a shame. But Raphael, if you're watching or reviewing this later, I like what you did. I like what you were going for.
Yeah. Okay, so shall we get started then?
Yes we can. So Jim Tan is asking, are we both ex-dungeon masters?
I wouldn't put X on the front of that.
X and current, I guess. Although I'm not running any campaigns right now. I feel like to be in this, it's rare to be a person who wants to write an RPG and not be a dungeon master, right?
Yeah. So maybe if you're not familiar, Jim and Soraki, so we made this rulebook, Legends of Avalon, in 2021, and then we followed up with this massive campaign book called Against the Fairy Queen that came out in 2023 or 2024. I don't know. And now we are making a world guide, which we funded on Kickstarter, and you can see a mock-up of it here. And today we are working on one of our fairy courts, which enact the will of one of our gods, the other ones in the Celtic otherworld called Annwn. And today we're working on the Court of Whispers, which belongs to the Ever Elder. In fact, let me get an artwork up of the Ever Elder, because I think that's a good artwork.
Yeah, well, I'm doing some text writing. I'm doing some copy and pasting to set up our document, which we haven't really had yet. So So yeah, Darren and something about our courts is this concept of it being slightly anachronistic. So our setting is an Iron Age world, but the fairies kind of lean towards being slightly more medieval fantasy-ish, and that's partially because of how the history of how we understand fairy mythology works, which is a lot of fantasy kind of got filtered through the medieval age, their stories, and also through the Celtic revival of like the 19th century. And so there's really no escaping how we view fairies from in a way from like how it was sort of interpreted in later centuries. So we kind of leaned into it a little bit, I think, which has been a lot of fun. So a lot, and we're also still drawing from the original mythology, which includes like actual Celtic god and goddesses names, and we're using them to be the royalty of our fairy houses. All right, so you got this the ever elder up.
Yeah, trying.
This weirdo.
I did get her up, and then I'm trying to arrange screens here, and I'm now getting it all wrong. Wait, where did everyone go? Am I on the wrong thing now? Wait, oh no, what happened? Are you still around? Yeah, you're still here.
They were too terrified of the ever elder.
Yeah, sorry, everything just went weird then for a second.
And her dark secrets.
Alright, you can still hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. This is the Ever Elder, goddess of secrets, sea, and service. There we go. Good.
Jim Tan says they like the art of building mazes and traps. Do you mean the ones that Darren shared last week? Of the mazes and traps?
Oh no, I think maybe they mean they enjoy making their own traps and mazes.
Oh, you enjoy building mazes,
which they consider an art form. Yeah.
When you used to be, I see, when you were a dungeon master. Yeah, I think coming up with interesting traps that frustrate or that are usable without incredibly frustrating your players is definitely an art. Soryuki also says this campaign book is amazing. Thank you. And you did the D&D Cruise since 2024, and which is our favorite OC. My favorite campaign of all time is Planescape from the old Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which they released something for, and which has a huge influence on a lot of media that I think me and Darren are into today.
All right, this will have to do.
I know Darren. Yeah. Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
You got the Everelder.
Yeah, this will do. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Where am I going? This way. Okay. So, Court of Whispers. Where do we begin? Let me check out the Court of Pebbles. So we begin by talking what the realm looks like, right? So we can make some quick notes on there. What does the realm of the Ever Elder look like, Kurt?
Watery.
Watery. That is big and true. It is a watery realm, yeah.
Yeah, I think a point of in mythology, perhaps a point of
comparison
reference, and that a lot of people talk about in mythology is whether the city of Ys is like a Scottish legend of like the sunken city type thing.
Yeah.
So that could be a good reference point for us.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, you also might know Ys from like the Japanese JRPG called, the Legend of Ys or whatever, and a lot of games use it as a concept. But definitely, it's something we should consider.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I'm quite happy. We've already discussed what the realm looks like, I think, in a previous section of the book. Specifically, the Court of Whispers for the Face Seekers, right? So I'm happy to move on to the next section.
Sure.
Life in the Ever Elder's realm. Okay, so this one's interesting. We have the Morgan poems. Something about the Morgan. What do we put here? Usually something that they enjoy, right? No, what they do, right? Morgan occupations. What Morgan desire from Avalon, and then the dangers. Yeah, okay. So I actually now have a new depiction that features Morgan homes, because we had a map made of the Ever Elder's Realm. I'll put that on stream now. Here we go. In fact, can I rotate it? Ah, no, I won't rotate it. That's fine. So we have like these various levels of depths inside the Ever Elder's Realm, but crucially, I don't know what happened here. There's sometimes where like artists do something and you're like, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll embrace it. These things are where the Morgan live. And I think they're supposed to be kind of like giant coral flowers or something. But they look like like cut fruits to me, right? It looks like a cucumber or something.
No, it's like the lime. It's like
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cut lime, yeah.
Lime,
yeah.
Key Lime Islands.
Yeah. But so I think the end result is though that the Morgan live in giant coral homes essentially. When they're not in palaces, in the Ever Elders like palaces, this is where they reside.
I mean, they look slightly jellyfish inspired too, like jellyfish bloomish. So I think that's acceptable. The color palette gives me strong Ariel vibes, which I do like. That's
Oh, you mean like the mermaid? Yeah.
You know, that's
I mean, they're literally mermaids. I kind of wanted that actually. Yeah, this to be bright and colorful, but then as you go deeper, it's darker and grimmer.
I mean, I think it looks neat. I think that this map looks very complete. I mean, wouldn't you think? It has everything. You know, it has houses and traps aplenty. It has beasts and hazards galore. Pink jellyfish. He has 20, but who cares? Anyway, no big deal.
Okay, so let's say coral homes. Cool. What do Morgan do, Kurt?
Dude, they are. I feel like they're the Fae that are most fucking around with the mortal realm because they want to like know shit. But you don't notice them as much. Like they love secrets, right? They love stories, secrets, gathering stuff for the Ever Elder. So I think they're just constantly swimming out into the open ocean and going to the coast and lakes, anywhere they can get their little daily grubby hands into. And
I think another interesting thing is that all the other realms in Avan, all the other worlds, otherworldly realms in Anu also have water in them. And I think that the Morgan are probably the Fae that's most likely to be found in other realms of the otherworld as well.
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense to me. And they kind of are. They are in. We demonstrate that in the opening adventure of the core rulebook.
Yeah.
And what more? And what do the Morgans desire? They desire.
Wait, have we done this right? No, I think this bullet point here is supposed to be what do they do in the spare time?
Oh, India. I mean, maybe they could do. Yeah, like for a little, we can. It's more about who they are, right?
Yeah.
And how they occupy their time.
Sayoki, if you just Google adderstonegames.co.uk, you can find links to all our socials on there if you click the info button. There'll be links to everything there. Constantly swimming out. So what Morgan's desire from Avan is secrets and listening to stuff, right? Just looking for secrets to over here and convince mortals to trade with.
They're like the paparazzi before the paparazzi.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the Bubak, we say we put Fae games here, and for the Elil, I'm sure we put the poetry thing, right? So what did Morgan do for the pastime? I guess is what I should be said there.
Oh, they gossip, don't they?
They just gossip. Yeah, they trade secrets and stories. Is that all they're about though? Is just secrets and stories? Is there anything else they enjoy?
What else do you need?
Maybe the collectors. like mermaids have treasures and things that they give out.
Yeah.
Maybe they collect stuff.
That plays into the Lady of the Lake mythology, right?
Yeah.
Like the distributing swords is no substitute for democracy or whatever.
Yeah, it's no reasonable way to govern a society or something like that.
for the government executive power.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, there's that too. So, like even that, like if you think of items as being a kind of trade, I mean, in the mortal realm, they are also about trade, right? So trading and gossiping is kind of trade of secrets, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like building.
Yeah, you're right. So let's do trading. Trading. Treasures. Treasures.
Trinkets.
Oddities.
Thingamabobs.
Yeah. They're faking. Yeah. Yeah, dude, my keyboard's become Welsh. It's so annoying. Whenever I press D now, it does a double D. It just double spams it and makes everything a DD sound. You didn't find the Discord. Okay, let's go to adderstonegames.co.uk. Oh yeah, you're right. Where is it? Oh, it's community. It's under community. You can find it there.
Discord, there it is.
Yeah.
So if you're watching us on YouTube, this is how you find our Discord. We do have a Discord.
Yeah.
YouTube, if you're a Discorder, please join.
Okay.
And you can also.
So that's it. Trading secrets, I like that. And then dangers. What dangers are there? Well, again, I think we should bring up that map, right? We have
regular.
You go on.
Deep sea monsters, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because there's also this aspect of like in Anu. Now here's the thing too. We don't know what it's called yet. Because we can go with the convention we had before, where, like for example, Anun Pedravane is named after Ker Pedravane, but the fortress is named Dun Al Shi, right?
Yeah, so it'll be Al Shi.
But I guess it'd be Anun Al Shi. That's true.
Yeah.
But we can also draw on some Irish naming conventions. Like, aren't there other names for Anun that we can also draw on? Like.
Oh, I see.
Tirnanog, or am I wrong there? Is that what it's called?
No. There's an Irish word for Anun. But
yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying we don't have to decide now, but I'm saying.
No, yeah, right. I'm gonna put a comment on that though. That's a good point. Comment.
Yeah.
Consider
and making it different would be kind of interesting as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Alright, so dangers. I'm looking at the map and there's one thing here that's really important, and that's these like whirlpools. There's like these really powerful currents that pull you up and down to the different levels. So because the whole realm's underwater, I feel like there's just like these powerful currents that can drag you to realms unknown, you know? Like you might be just trying to gently explore and suddenly you're sucked off somewhere else and you can't go back. That's the hard part about these, is they draw you to somewhere and then you can't just swim back. You have to find another way to get back to where you were, so it's easy to get lost.
Right. It's like it's like an existential undertow.
Yeah.
No, I like that. Yeah, and then what I was saying with sea creatures. Obviously, sea creatures are a thing, you know, the Afanc and so on.
Yeah.
But creatures that like wouldn't normally be so easily seen, giant squid and all that stuff, are much more. Maybe they're more present in the Ever Elders realm.
Yep.
Because it's like it's even toward the surface, it's still like deep sea-esque.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think we should mention here that there's no risk of drowning, right? That there's no risk of drowning. But yeah, and I don't think we need to explain that either.
Yeah, sure. While you can breathe water in there.
Yeah.
Like the what movie? Have you ever seen The Abyss? This is relevant. It's a movie that has to do with undersea water.
Okay, sure.
But,
no.
But I think there's a moment. I could be mistaking it with another movie where they're granted the power to like basically breathe in water. Am I wrong there? Fuck, I could be mistaking that for another movie too.
That's fine.
Well, anyway, but it is called The Abyss, so that's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, exactly. The horrors of the abyss. That's very much part of it.
Yeah.
Then we've got limits of the Elder's domain. So, I guess this is where we talk about what the Afanc are up to, right? Like what is the antagonism in this realm? What are the Morgan fighting against, right?
Sure.
So let's brainstorm. What are the Afanc up to?
Yeah, they're the hardest one to sort of get a handle on, right? Like I feel like all the other Faerie, the sort of creatures of the domain, of the other domains, are a bit more obvious. But the Afanc is a creepy mofo.
Yeah. Let's
like,
go to.
And they're smarter.
Yeah.
They're smarter too, right?
I think so. Yeah. Let's read this quick, and then I'll describe everything I know about the Afanc, and then we can come up with an idea.
Sure.
The Afanc are water monsters that seek to devour the Ever Elder and all thoughts. One appears as a large abomination of beaver and snakes, with predator's fangs and claws, a sleek green body, and a multitude of tentacles protruding from its back and mouth. When its eyes are closed, the Afanc becomes invisible, and uses its tentacles as feelers to find its prey. The Afanc slither through the waterways of the other worlds, where they hunt the greatest minds they can find, often the Morgan. Those lucky enough to survive an encounter with one will often not realise it was an Afanc, instead claiming they were attacked by giant water snakes that would grow in number when slain. Yeah. Where's the part that we have about the Afanc hunting the person who lives on an island somewhere?
That's page 146.
Of Legends of Avalon.
The core book.
Yeah, oh nice.
And that's the Afanc is a beast given many descriptions and stories, depicted as a giant beaver with floating appendages upon his back, insect-like antennae on his head, a mouth of writhing tentacles, and an untold number of creeping legs. To make matters worse, it is a Faerie able to disappear at will. Like the Ever Elder, Afanc are drawn to hidden places and secrets, so they want hidden places and secrets. But unlike the eldest god, it is an eater of secrets, taking pleasure in destroying knowledge and making it lost to both mortals and immortals for all of time. One chilling story tells of an old man who, after losing his wife to old age on the solitary island, suddenly found himself being stalked by an Afanc for no other reason than that after he was consumed, there was no one left in the world to remember his name. Cold-blooded!
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember writing that shit. That shit's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I've recently introduced the idea that there's some way for you to get the knowledge back if you kill an Afanc. There's some way to gain access to all of the secrets that it's ingested. I'm not sure how yet. So I think the Afanc are predators like the Drake, and instead of seeking material things, they're seeking mental things. Whereas the Makalevi seek spiritual things, right? There we go. Yep. The Drake are material predators, the Makalevi are spiritual predators, and the Afanc are mental predators.
Yep. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Saying mental predator also has a weird connotation to it. But yes, yeah, you're accurate. But yes, they are. That's what they be up to. So, are they? So basically, then that means they're diametrically opposed to what the Ever Elder is trying to do, which is to keep the secrets alive.
Yeah.
And whereas
and disperse them, right? Like one of her roles is to give out secrets, is to share wisdom with people when needed.
Yeah. And they're the hardest. And all the realms, they're all like these kind of weird, infinite, both infinite and not infinite pocket dimensions, right? Paradoxically. But her seems especially kind of hard to defend in a way, right? Like where everyone is kind of like on this 2D plane.
Yeah.
I imagine the pen of the Ever Elder's Anun is almost like a sphere, where her domain is in a sphere, and then everything else is kind of like expands from that until the inky blackness of the Unmaking outside of that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think more. I think of it more like at least half a sphere. So it's like her domain is safest at the top, where there's like a layer that leads to Avarlan, and then there's a half a sphere that goes out from there. Exactly. Yeah, down into the depths. And I think I like that idea a lot. That they're more likely to be attacked from all angles. It's harder to defend. Yeah, that's really cool. And I think maybe rather than fighting back, the Morgan are more likely to hide, right? Maybe Morgan are more likely to hide than fight back. Passing information on drifting Afanc is important. Like their game is staying ahead of the Afanc, knowing where they're going, what they're doing, so that they can stay safe from them, as opposed to fighting as much.
So
it's my first instinct. Yeah. And then I want to say one more thing as well, that I think because of the Avanc's ability to steal knowledge and memories and become invisible, I feel like they are something that can be forgotten about and are easy to hide, and maybe they can lurk even deeper than most other Faerie in the chaos of the other world, and so they're just even harder to eradicate, because there could always just be more out there that you haven't seen for hundreds of years, and suddenly they will return, you know. Whereas the other Faerie, they kind of, there's a limit that they reach to and they have to push back to maintain their ground, but maybe the Afanc can kind of drift much further and be gone and then come back again.
Are you suggesting too that they're like so when you say they could hide in the chaos, are you, because we have this concept of like there being that sort of black chaos, which we're currently calling the unmaking at the edge of the other world.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that they're more at home in that, like compared to the other?
Yeah, maybe they're more at home, or just that it being there is inherently dangerous, and they can survive it more readily for whatever reason.
Okay.
Harder to catch, harder to see. Yeah.
Harder to catch, harder to see. Let's write that down. So they are harder to catch, harder to see, and are more at home in the chaos of the unmaking, and are one of the few creatures that can actually enter it and return. Is that like a concept? You mean like they could swim in the unmaking?
Yeah, something like that. Like that the Kawa feel a pressure to maintain their territories in Anun, because they're up against a wall of this unmaking and they can't venture further that way, so they're always restricted. They're always fighting for this ground. But for some reason, the Afanc just kind of drift into it, and they don't care about territory. They can lurk in the darkness.
They're the most eldritch, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's very weird. Yeah. It's a very weird quality.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. And again, guys, this is stuff that we're just making up on stream, right? This just came to us now through talking and massaging through its concepts. This isn't something that we've already realized and written down. This is literally being created before your eyes. Yeah.
Got it.
Cool. All right. Then, do we want to do the Evermother, or do we want to go straight to a fairy house? I guess we should talk about, the Ever Elder.
Yeah. So, do we have a name for the Ever Elder? Did we have a name?
Yeah.
We did, right?
She is Lear. Not Lear. No, she's not. She's not. She's Penarvin. Sorry.
Penarden.
Yeah.
Penarden,
yeah. Which is funny, actually. There's a town just across the bay from me that's called Penarth.
Oh man, you're being manipulated by big Ever Elder.
big Ever Elder.
Yeah. Now I remember writing stuff about the Ever Elder and who she was, but do you recall?
Yeah. It was all in the secrets for the Avanc, we were talking about how the singing stone, how she'd never take another love because of her husband.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So
in immortal life.
Yeah, so she had a lover who was eaten by the Uravank, right?
Uh-huh. Avanc secrets. Right. Yeah, I can get up. Where is in Knocknarfili? Half a day's walk from Knocknarfili is Cloch Amar, a standing stone that amplifies any melody performed upon it. The first ancient seer declared she would take no lover, but one who could crack Cloch Amar with their song. That tradition has continued, and the triumphant chief bard of each grand Eisteddfod, called the Privarth, is given the chance to sing a song for Cloch Amar. There is no shame in failing this task, as no crack has yet appeared. And then the legendary lore is Cloch Amar was carved during the Divine Age as a tribute to Clear, her first and only love. I guess we should say the Ever Elders. So not just her. The Ever Elders' first and only love. While most Privarth composed love songs to woo ancient seer, the stone will in fact only crack for a lullaby composed by Clear for their baby, both of whom and their memories became prey to an Avanc decades before the Wild Hunt. So my hint here is that if you can find that Avanc and somehow slay it and gain back those memories, you could then learn that lullaby and marry the queen.
Do you think Anshin Shear, do you think the Ever Mother or the Ever Elder herself, do you think when the Uravank basically consumed his lover and child or whatever?
Not the Uravank, just Avanc.
Oh, just Avanc.
Yeah.
Okay, so just Avanc.
Yeah.
Does she remember their name? Like, does it have a magical property where the consuming of the...
Oh, well, takes it from other people? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Yeah. But I think that is its aim, right? I feel like... Oh, here's the thing. There you go. This ties... I mean, we've already kind of said most of this already, but let's put it... Let's see where it leads us. Like, what if when the Avanc consumes you, it has all your memories, and then it can find the most precious ones, and then it can see who you've also discussed this with or have any relations to about this with, and then it goes to target those people as well, because it can see where the knowledge has been by going through your memory, and then it goes to hunt down those things, so then it knows it's gone forever, basically.
Sure.
So it's like a contagion, or not a contagion. It hunts down the web of wisdom.
So that would make the Ever Elder the most delicious target for dinner.
Yeah.
Because consuming the Avanc would mean that a bunch of secrets that only she knows would be lost, and that would be the most satisfying meal.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. But there's no way. So part of it is that the Ever Elder doesn't know which Avanc consumed her husband, right?
Right.
And I guess that drives the hunt, right? It's one day her Morrigan will kill the Avanc that consumed her lover.
So it's not the Uravank, however.
No.
Which was a different thing.
Yeah.
And then that's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so
we haven't really discussed how the Ever Elder vanquished Uravank, have we? Is that something we've talked about yet?
Said that she uncovered ancient knowledge on the Avanc to learn its weakness. And there's two things to that. One is how to see it when it's invisible. And then two would be the best way to kill the thing. Now, to see it when it's invisible, we know that's the Adder Stone, right? Seeing stones and things like that can see the Avanc when they're invisible. Then the other thing is how's best to kill it. That we haven't figured out before. And then the other question is how did she figure this stuff out as well? We don't know. So that's something to make up. Yeah.
Who else knows it? Hold on, I gotta write this bit about
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
And who else knows it?
Alright then. And then seeks out those other seeks out others in the know to rid the world.
So you're suggesting that the Ever Mother You're suggesting that then that the Ever Elder discovered one. How to say? Oh, because she had they have the Ever Elder stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't the Ever Elder have like a special Adder stone?
Yeah.
So could that be one of the tools that they use to see?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She discovered that Adder stones allow you to see the Afanc. And that might be why they're called Adderstones in Avalon, because they're
Adderstone games. Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
Let's see the Afanc. And 2, how did
That's the part we haven't figured out yet, is that she did something that wasn't particularly combat prowess like to defeat the Afanc by learning a secret about it. Now, being able to see it is an important thing, but then what else? I'm not sure.
Well, the other issue is that it needs an element of sacrifice, right? Like, in order to kill the Afanc, she has to.
She'll die. Yeah, it does have to be sacrificed, but yeah, she'll die in the process. Yeah, but you're right. We could play into it.
Or she discovered the secret that it's not about dying; it's about basically siphoning off their the divine essence. Like, maybe she's the only one who discovered that you have to like siphon off their divine essence and consume it, or something.
You're right. Maybe she knew what was going to happen before it happened, whereas everyone else found she knew that she'd become a god, for example. Yeah, that's a nice idea. I like that.
Yeah, so she studied the other, like, basically all the other everyone's died first and came back, and she realized, oh, this is all you have to do.
Nah, not like maybe, but I kind of like the idea she does it first or in the middle. Like, I don't think she should know it because of the other gods. I think she should figure it out through her own understanding of the other world or something.
Sure.
Or spirits and things.
So write it down.
Yeah.
So discovered.
Yeah, so I was like, she banished them, uncovered ancient knowledge. Yeah, so we don't say if she uses magic. She just basically something she discovered helped her defeat it. Not necessarily using magic or using fighting skills. It's just something because she's an old woman. Remember?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we should come back to this. Maybe we're not going to figure it out on the stream.
Okay. Well, maybe. Yeah. But I mean, I don't mind this idea per se of discovered. Sorry, you go ahead.
Alright, she'd to defeat it, you have to meld with its spirit. So maybe she knew that she had to die as well.
Okay, so she's like, okay.
Yeah.
but it's less maybe it's less heroic or self-sacrificing than the others because she knew she would come back, so she is just
I'm okay with that though. Risk. Like if you're smart, then you know that it's gonna play out. Yeah,
was less a sacrifice and more a calculated risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's shrewd. Like every elder is shrewd, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Arden is shrewd.
And I guess part of it could be is that, well, if we know that the Afanc seeks secrets and wisdom and things like that, maybe she learned something that no other person knew that was so juicy a piece of wisdom that the Afanc let it be known via whatever means does, because it's the alpha predator, that it would be the one to consume her.
I don't mind that. I just think that in this section, because it's like a all secrets are out section, we have to name what that GC thing is.
Oh yeah. Let's get there as well.
So so I'm okay with it. It just we just have to be more explicit than we have been in the past. Is all I'm saying.
Learn juiciest secret of all to the Afanc. And then there's still the question of what does she do to kill it or to harm it? Like
she she could see it with the Adderstone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she put some she wore some Adderstone glasses. She just put these Adderstones on her eyes, and the Afanc didn't know that she could see it, and she fucking stabbed it in the eyeball. No, I don't know.
It's funny. That's what I was thinking as well. That's what I thought you were going to say. Yeah. So
it's
so the Everchild drowns the Kawa. The Everfather is going to actually just fight it, sword through scales eventually. The Evermother poisoned it, right?
Yeah, she basically embeds poison in tattoos on her body and lets herself get eaten. And then when the boar basically falls asleep, they rip out its heart.
And the Ever Stranger bound it to his son, but I've forgotten exactly how he did that. But it involved sacrificing his family. Some kind of ritual, I think. It was a ritual. It was a binding ritual. That's right. It was a binding ritual. Yeah. So he didn't kill it necessarily. He bound it. Okay, so we've got binding, we've got drowning, we've got combat, we've got poison. So we haven't necessarily done magic, actually. I guess ritual is kind of like magic for binding.
A ritual is magic. Yeah, I mean, a ritual is magic, but we can run it back with some kind of magic thing.
Yeah.
It could be a magic Afanc chains, like shackles. Well, no, we did shackles. We did shackles with a.
Yeah. What if the secret she had was so juicy that she drew the Afanc onto land?
Onto what?
Onto land.
Oh, and like, but the Afanc doesn't care about air, does it?
I'm not saying it would drown, but I'm saying it's vulnerable there. That's part of the ploy.
So drew it onto land, and then basically put it into a pit and starved.
That's what I was thinking as well. And then it died from old age.
They both died from old age. Yeah. They were just like in the fucking pit together for like 100 years.
Yeah, longer. And it just dried out.
That's kind of a weird way to kill something.
I know. I mean, what if the Afanc, maybe that's the secret. What if the Afanc, it is a breathing consumption thing. Like, what if that chaos that they find themselves more at home in, what if that's useful to them somehow? That's like something that they absorb.
Because it drew them into Avalon for too long.
Yeah.
And it basically, they don't.
Oh, I've lost you there, Kurt. No, I've lost Kurt. Kurt, come back. If I disconnect.
I can hear you.
Oh, you're back? Okay, you're back. You're just lagging.
Well, I could hear you, but I was like frozen.
Okay, yeah, you're good now. You're good now. Yeah, you're frozen.
Yeah, weird. Yeah. I felt like I could hear everything, but I was just like frozen. Yeah. Did you hear anything I said about secrets?
No.
Like imagine. Okay, again, just follow me on this path. What if the Ever Elder basically drew the Afanc into a prison, like you said, for a long time, and it doesn't. It needs to consume something like magic or whatever, but because it was in Avalon for so long, like in ordered space, it basically wastes away. I'm like, but does that make sense? Because like, why would the Ever Elder die?
Well, she's the bait, right?
Yeah, but just because she's the bait doesn't like. How does she's too smart? You have to give her credit, right? She's too smart to be like, well.
But if she knows that she has to die as well to like take over the spirit, so it doesn't just reincarnate, then she wants to die in the process. So she lures it, gets consumed, and then it's stuck for whatever reason. And then I'm okay with like the suffocating idea. Like it's not suffocating because it's out of water per se, but maybe like it's just out of water for too long. Like I'm okay with that. Like they live in water, or it suffocates because it can't consume anything. Yeah.
It can't consume any secrets.
Yeah. Secrets potential. Maybe that's what it is. It's like there's something about secrets, like knowledge and potential, that's somehow similar to the Chaos Realm. And like the Chaos Realm is like eating dry bread, and it can go there to just make do if it can, but it would rather eat something delicious like a mind and a thought. So they can survive out there by themselves for ages, but they can't survive. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So they survive on thoughts, secrets, knowledge, but they can subsist on whatever this chaos potential is because it's similar to it. But if they have neither of those things, then they die.
They basically start.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Write it down. Put it down.
Shit,
Let's do it.
we did it. Okay. Learn secrets of all.
There's actually a Yeah, I read this abstract that some scientists are proposing, and it's this idea that I'll see if I can find it, and you can tell me because you're someone with a doctorate in physics if it's bullshit or not. But
wait, I need to write the thing down first, so I can't hear that well.
Oh, you can't think about that as well?
Yeah, everyone discovered that.
I can write it down too.
She needed to defeat it. She had to meld the spirit by dying.
Into a isolated chamber where they both starve.
No. She got eaten.
Oh, she gets eaten?
Yeah, she gets eaten, but it's stuck there. Yeah. Like, there's no way that she could be there and it could be there and she would survive. They're not just like hanging out playing cards or whatever.
Sure.
She knew that the Afanc.
So it's like a weird stone room.
Thoughts and memories needs to be thoughts. Needs to survive.
In the Sears fort.
That's the check. And it starved over hundreds of years, basically. I like the idea that it's slow as well. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's actually a secret room in their fort, and it's still there or something. Like she still has a skeleton.
Oh, like where it's built, the entrance to the fort.
Yeah, like it still exists. The fort, the trap room or whatever. Like it must still exist, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think necessarily it's constructed. It could be a location, an actual location as well.
I feel like what kind of location could that be where you can trap a creature like this? I feel like it'd have to be constructed. That would be the magic portion of it, right? Like a room, like etched with
preparation.
I mean, you're not gonna bring it into like a fucking gorge.
Magic exists. You can make something natural out of magic. So you can make a huge pit or whatever. Right? It doesn't have to be made of like wood and hammers. It can be done using elemental magic.
Okay, but you're not a fan of the idea of it being a thing that is still at her disposal?
Oh right.
Like I feel like the Everelder.
I don't know. I feel like the Afanc wouldn't fall for it again. But
well, it's a different Afanc though.
Yeah.
I mean, if it worked on the Afanc, it could work on any Afanc.
Yeah. So yeah, its place probably still exists somewhere, sure, but it's just a big pit, right? It's just a big thing.
Yeah. Well, a pit that, because I imagine Afanc can like climb and shit. So
yeah.
For whatever reason, they're not able to.
Yeah, get out of it.
Get out of it. So let's think about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's leave that there then.
Chamber. Okay. I'll put pit just in case.
Yeah.
Chamber / enchanted pit. Okay. A Brad pit, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the secret magic Zilphia, by the way. Is a magical pit. All right. Well, yeah, that's some deep lore that we've concocted.
Yeah.
And makes sense for the lore that we've had.
Oh yeah, I deleted the Adderstone thing. That wasn't necessary anymore. I feel like the knowledge she learned two things. One was how to kill the thing. The other one was a great secret to draw out. That was too tempting to resist.
Okay. Yeah, but we don't know that secret yet.
Nah, I have ideas though, like the origins of the world and things like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Got it.
Shall we move on?
Yeah. Let's move on.
Now it is time to make a wish because it's 11:11 here where I am. I don't know what time it is on your place.
It is 3:11. 15.
Oh, which is a fun band from the 90s. You guys know the band 311, which you probably don't.
I don't, I'm afraid.
Okay, so all right, so we have the Dune Al-Shi, is that right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then we have the throne room. Well, we do depict the throne room of the Everelder, don't we? So
no. Of the
don't we?
the Brennan, but not of the goddess.
Unch and sheer.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So where do you think the Ever Elder holds court?
So I have kind of an image actually. I have some artwork.
A giant shoot. Okay. It's not a giant seashell where she sells seashells by the seashore.
While her dad smokes crack in the back.
Crack in the back.
Yeah.
Well, the pen of
that's an old lyric from a band that I was in.
What is it?
Yeah. She sells on the seashore while her dad's smoking crack in the back. Yeah. I'm not shy, I just don't like you. Get away from me. Yeah.
I like that.
Anyway, what am I doing? I'm stuck. Ever Elder's Realm. There we go. No, that's the map. No, it was right. Okay. Yeah, okay, I figured it out. We got there. Yeah, so this is like a pathway in the Ever Elder's Realm. You can see Morrigan and giant fish swimming above it. And in the distance, there's just like this weird palace structure thing. And you really can't see it, unfortunately. But I kind of like that you can't see it, maybe. Oh, and there's an Afanc, by the way. If anyone doesn't know what the hell it is we're talking about. This is our depiction of an Afanc. And so let me check the references. Like, stupid AI art crap. But these are the references that I used for the Ever Elder's Realm. Yeah,
ooh, can you show the is that the Pictish Beast?
Yeah, exactly. Black and white one? Yeah.
That's from a drawing from a stone, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's right. So I used that as the entire basis for our depiction of the Afanc. That is why it looks the way it does. In fact, let me read that one. That's...
Yep. Drawn from the mythology, ladies and gentlemen.
So these
basically
kind of like things, yeah.
Basically identical.
Basically identical, yeah.
I don't see any difference between these two creatures.
Yeah, this is from like a 1,500-year-old stone in Scotland. That's right, you nailed it.
Very, I just feel like someone saw like a seahorse and was freaked out.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, have you seen a seahorse in person recently, like as an adult?
No, I guess not for a long time.
Yeah, when you look at go to an aquarium sometime, look at a seahorse. I don't know, man, they're weird. They're uncanny. They look like horses, but they're little fucking fish things. Yeah. They're fucked up. I don't like them.
Yeah.
And then they're weird. So, appropriate reference.
Mm. So,
all right, so you got
these are the references that I used for the Ever Elder's architecture. So try and absorb this. There's this piece. There's this thing. This one not so much. I just think it was more about the colours. But I guess the architecture's okay. This one I think is a big deal. Just how everything's kind of huge and there's growth and stuff. And you'd have to imagine that there doesn't need to be bridges and things, right? Because the Morrigan can just swim from one corridor to another. There's no need for
bridges.
Yeah.
Bridges are aesthetic, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
this one I'm not so keen
if you really, I mean, that's the thing that's kind of tricky, right? Like, because even looking at those arches and so on, like, you think to yourself, do you need arches?
Yeah, you need to go in somewhere to be in a room. Like, things can still be rooms.
Yeah, but I guess so. But aren't arches like to support? Isn't like a strong structure to support gravity-wise going this way? I don't know. I'm not an architect, so I'm just thinking of like how it must be aesthetic, right? Like that's okay too to just say, oh yeah, it looks cool, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
To do it that way.
But yeah, the point is that these are like grand palace-like structures, I think. So it's definitely some kind of palace.
So like an underwater.
Yeah, maybe go watch The Little Mermaid again.
Sure. I don't know if that's the best. You think Little Mermaid is the best reference?
I don't know. Is it
accurate underwater architecture?
Little Mermaid. Didn't she live in a palace? Yeah, look at this. It's perfect.
Hold on, I lost you for a second.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, there it is. Oh. There's an old playground rumor about
I know, yeah.
You're aware of it? Okay, so you have that in your side of the pond too?
Yeah.
All right. Chat, if you know what we're talking about, or YouTube chat.
Well, I don't think it has it. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Please feel free to to pipe in with what you think the secret is. without googling it. So.
What goes here, Kurt? What's the next section?
So this was the throne room, like the place where
they had me poor.
Where the Ever Elder holds.
We skipped the Ever Elder's desire.
Oh sure, the Ever Elder's
motivation. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Elders. That is motivation. What does she want? Well,
I have a stupid one, but that we're not going to use. But I'll hold it inside me as my secret until you tell me if you have what your idea is.
I mean, we know that she's interacting with mortals more than the other gods. I think she has to be the antagonist kind of a bit. I think she's the ever one that is the one that's actively plotting to take over the other gods. Again, she's actually working for some kind of supremacy. The Ever Child is busy doing other things. The Ever Mother is kind of resigned to just live in peace and harmony. The Ever Father, I think, is put into his efforts to making the best Varlic people possible, but he's honouring the Ever Pact quite sternly. The Ever Stranger is apathetic, and so it's only the Ever Elder really that I feel has the right kind of space and mindset to try and be something more, like to desire power. I don't know why. I guess it's the motivation part. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think there's one of two ways I could see it swinging, and one is she has the best knowledge. Thanks, Zilphia wins in the chat. She has the best understanding of how Anun works and the unmaking and the chaos and the relationship between worship and all that stuff, right? Like all the everyone's kind of understand it, but she like really gets it. So she understands that hypothetically, there's no reason why there should be 5 gods. She could basically eliminate the others and sort of combine their domains and sort of be the goddess first of her domain. Basically, world domination, right? That's like one way to think about it. And that's fine, dominate. It makes sense for someone like her who values secrets and knowledge and so on to like, okay, well, there's stuff she doesn't know because these spirits are going to other realms and there's shit she's not privy to, and that drives her kind of mad, right? She knows that she can't knows what's happening in the Court of Branches, in the Court of Whisper, the Court of Pebbles, etc. And so it'd just be easier if none of that existed.
Yeah,
right.
That's what
like if it was all in her number. Now, to take it to an even further extreme, if you use that idea, it would be way better if nothing existed and only she existed, and then she would be the mistress of all secrets.
Yeah. No, so I think that can't be it, because that's the Avanc's motivation. That's what the Afanc want. That's what the Afanc are driving towards.
Yeah, she's becoming. But that's what I'm suggesting is if she destroys everything, and she's the only conscious being in existence.
No, that's the Avanc's desire motivations. I think they should be different. It should be the other side of it. I think you nailed it the previous time. That
fine.
It frustrates her to no end that there are other courts, other bigger entities out there that are keeping things from her, and it would just be better. Everything would be better if she knew everything, so she could help the Varlic. And I think that. You go, sorry.
She's basically our world's Judeo-Christian god before they became a god.
Yeah.
Where they basically hundreds of years from now, they're the only god that exists.
Yes, and they're omnipotent.
Is their goal?
And they have.
Is their goal?
They convict you of thought crime and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our goal. Is she wants to be the god of that we know in the Western Judeo-Christian world.
Yeah. So I think that maybe I want her to be involved with the Exilium. Like I think that she knows that she can't go to war or challenge the other gods of Avalon, but if she can get more power from somewhere else, from other lands, then she could grow such that she could challenge them here. Does that make sense?
Well, okay, so...
But that doesn't work because the Pen of Ankh are so isolationist. They have nothing to do with the Raxians and the rest of the world, right? So maybe that doesn't work.
Maybe. I mean, okay, when you talk about Exilium, do you think the ever... Okay, this is... I'm getting a little cheeky here.
Yeah.
Did the Everelder have a hand in lending secrets out to the Raxians like centuries ago that allowed them to have the tools to defeat their own gods, kind of thing?
I kind of like the idea.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Because then it's like she can't get directly involved, but it might be like, well, it'd be easier for her to achieve, this ultimate goal if the gods of this other expanding empire are all fucking dead, and when they came over here, she could start like studying their thing, and
I think the issue with that is just they're geographically distant from each other. I think it's
but does physical distance matter in this case when we're talking about?
A little bit.
That's the tricky part about like Anun and stuff, right?
Yeah,
like
does,
how much
because they have to travel through Avalon, right? They have to go for the real world, the mortal realm. Also, I keep leaning back, and I notice on streams that I'm quiet. It's because I'm leaning back and relaxing. I should be closer to the mic. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, what if we know that if these are the gods of Avalon, there probably were other gods on the mainland before the Raxians came and did their thing to other cultures on the mainland, right? We haven't said anything about that at all. She could have helped them with that so that she could take them somehow.
What do you mean, take them?
Take whatever power they have, or store it somewhere. Like, our version of Gaul, basically, had to have their own gods. They weren't worshipping these.
Oh, sure. I see what you mean, yeah. I mean, it could have been that she was aware of that as well, because she's the eldest, right? And she might be like the most well-traveled and so on. Like she could have been aware of other cultures and gods before everyone else too.
Yeah,
I can see that being a thing. Zilphia says send out whispers. Send her little underlings.
I guess what is she planning today then? Let's not talk about what she did before. What is she doing now? What has she been doing? She's been leading the Pen of Ankh as a queen for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. What has she done with that? She's kept the Pen of Ankh safe and remote and isolated. That's for sure. Yeah. Why has she done that?
Spoiler alert, I guess this idea that she's basically keeps putting a portion of her mind into the ruler of the Pen of Ankh clan is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's the only way to keep control. Yeah, exactly. But then, exactly that. But then to what end? Yeah, I guess you're right. Keeping them isolated keeps them under control. That's true. So then,
yeah,
go on.
I figure. I mean, the other thing is that she, the Ever Elder works on a much longer time scale, right? It's not like she has a mortal life. Yeah. She doesn't need. We're not talking about a 10-year plan or 2-decade plan. We're talking about a centuries long, like a millennia long plan, right?
Yeah.
So it behooves her to see sort of the development of technology and the way the world events are unfolding, and just observe, right? So keeping control is important, but also she doesn't think it's the right time to act yet, kind of thing.
Maybe that's it.
Building an army like sleeper agents, and people have no idea until the time comes. And that's part of it, right? Like the fact that her Morgan can kind of like go to other places and gain secrets,
and the Pen of Ankh are doing that as well. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. She's biding time. I think I like that. And Sylvia's right. The Morgan and sleeper agents and the Pen of Ankh do that as well, and she's in charge of the Pen of Ankh. So it just seems like she's building up this huge information network that's all coming to her through the mortal world and through the other world. So she's biding her time for something. Yeah.
But she's. It could be centuries before she decides. Okay, it's time to move.
Yeah.
Like she's not gonna do it prematurely.
She's controlling. And Afanc, keeping them isolated and safe. Sending out agents. But creating spy networks with people and Morgan to gain purchase and wait for the right time to strike, which could be in centuries. Something like that, but shorter. Yeah. Good mega quests for DMs to play with if they want. Quests to stop her. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've kind of building up the Ever Elder's antagonist for a while, and even included hints of it against the Fairy Queen. I should check. I'm pretty sure I said something about it against the Fairy Queen. We should check.
Actually, my headcanon is in the future, at least in the near future. I could see there basically being a campaign in Ataraxia, like the siege of the raising of Ataraxia or whatever, that is just low key a plot by the Ever Elder, right? Like to the Ever or the Empire, the Araxian Empire has its tendrils all over the world, and if like they basically raise it, she could help take control of that network and like make use of that to understand more about the world and increase her influence.
Yeah.
So yes, Sylphia, I do think it would be a fun mega quest.
Yeah. So what did I say here? At the end of Against the Fairy Queen, I say Meredithian suspected the Ever Elder halted time in favor of the heroes in Orain. If that were the case, it would violate the Ever Pact, information that warrants investigating, perhaps with the Druid Conclave in Innis Dewith. For if a rogue god can so easily meddle in mortal affairs again, the prospect of a second command there to Sarah's looms. Yeah, okay. So she's impacted the mortal world when she shouldn't. Okay. Nothing too big there. Alright, fine.
Playing fast and loose.
Fast and loose, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the throne room, right?
Yeah, where she holds court. In a giant seashell.
I think she had. I mean, I don't see why not, because you're right. Let's get the art up for the Brennan's throne room, and then it probably would be not much of a stretch to imagine that it's modelled after her own throne room in Anoon, right?
What was that?
I'm saying that if this is the Brennan's throne room in Avalon, it wouldn't be such of a stretch to believe that her throne room in Anoon is somewhat similar but grander, right? Like, wouldn't she just model it?
Oh, sure, because she's in both places, right? So it's like and like the seashell. Okay, the thing about seashell imagery, like especially was it oysters represent, right? These kind of like enclosed spaces, but inside through friction, pearls get manifested. So I think she likes the sort of metaphor of that.
Yeah.
Of how
actually I think
precious stones.
Do I not have the references? I think I had a good reference for that. But yeah, let's do seashells. Let's do something seashells. Elders.
Big ass seashell.
Big seashells. Yeah.
Also, seashells are pretty.
Sure. Okay.
Kind of weird. Think about it. If I think about seashells too hard, it kind of freaks me out.
Okay, let's not do that.
Yeah. Hermit crabs. Like hermit crabs, like switching shells and shit. That's weird, man. It's weird evolutionary shit.
Do we? Right. Okay. Mermaid brain.
Yeah, mermaid brain Kurt. That's me. I definitely have mermaid brain. Mermaids are weird, man.
Does she need another secret? I guess maybe. So.
There's plenty of secrets.
Yeah, another secret. But let's just leave it for now. I really want to do a fairy court before we stop, but we've already been going for an hour and 15 minutes. So.
Yeah, I mean, we can develop more off stream.
I know, but I like doing the fairy calls on stream.
Oh, sure. We could just name them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have the names already, right?
Yeah. Oh, we should name the husband here as well somewhere.
Oh, sure.
I guess it's going to be mentioned here, isn't it? Like, yeah.
Is it going to be,
It's here.
It has to be the people here.
Yeah. Okay. Prisoned away from Penarth by Uswith, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, which we have 3 houses. We have the House of Sight, Truth, and Service, Wisdom, Magic, and Knowledge, and then Sea, Trade, and Storms. Which one do you want to do, Kurt?
Tai Vindonis?
Sight, Truth, and Service? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can just go in order. It doesn't actually particularly matter what. Like, we can just kind of go in order of our notes.
Maybe something took your fancy.
That's fine. My only issue with Vindonis is, does that sound? It doesn't sound Romanized to you, that name?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we've. Oh, I think we might have discussed this maybe when you weren't here. Well, no, maybe we discussed this last week. I can't remember, but it's impossible. I don't know what to do about that exactly, because the only records we have of these gods is written down in stone statues in Britain, and they were written in Latin script. So yes, they're Romanized.
Yeah. Just put 2 D's in there, right? That's the Welsh D, isn't it? There you go. That looks plenty Welsh now, or Irish.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, we could always come back to it. Or using more. Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't have to think. We don't have to make a choice right now. Or rather, we could just write down and then figure it out. But in terms of sight, it could be House of. Isn't it House of Visions? Is that weird?
Yeah, House of Vision. I don't know. It sounds weird. Yeah. House of Sight.
House of
Visions. Truth.
House of Perception.
Yeah.
House of Insight.
Yeah.
Not sight. Insight.
Insight. Maybe.
Insight kind of sounds more appropriate to me. Nah, or is that too close to knowledge?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it first, then we can name it afterwards. Let's not prescribe and be descriptive instead.
Sure.
So I've already forgotten now how we do this. So let's go to T. Gwydion, House of Tricks. We talk about something with the gods, their ambition, and then we just do something for each of the Fae. That's right. Okay. So Vin Diesel.
House of Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
This house is about family.
Yeah. So we do have this thing of crystal balls that the Evereld is often depicted holding like a giant pearl, like crystal ball thing that she's staring into. So I feel like that should come from here or something. His portfolio is eyesight, sun, eye healing, and clear light. Whatever clear light means, I'm not sure. He's a cure of eye problems, votive models of limbs offered to him, including bronze models of eyes.
So it is just like a house of optometry.
Yeah. Association with wild, maybe connection with wild drinkers and wildness. Yeah, okay, I just like the idea of him having like eyeball things everywhere. Like crystal balls. There's like a crystal balls. He just has like a crystal ball for like different places and you can look in them and see what's going on. There's also the giant eye things. Oh shoot, what we came up with the law for that, didn't we? The map, dude. The map with the giant eye on it. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sure.
We wrote something down for that somewhere.
You mean on the map that you commissioned?
Yeah, there's a giant eye on the map, remember? And
yeah.
we came up with an idea on stream about what that is. Maybe you weren't here for that. Maybe that's why you don't know.
That's why.
I came up with an idea with it on stream and we wrote it down somewhere. Sylphia, do you remember anything to do with that? Where this giant eye and we had this idea of druids communing with them to see things, where it might be. Yeah, I'll just go back and watch another stream. I'll find it. That's one useful stream things to stream on. But yeah, I'm imagining like a giant house of eyes, like crystal balls that you can use to see places and see things.
Sure.
In fact, we do something similar to that in Care on the Borderlands. There's like a ball, and then you touch it, and then you get a vision from the Fairy Queen, right?
Oh yeah.
That happens.
So room of crystal balls.
Yeah. Let me quickly go to history. I don't need to look it up now, but yeah. Okay, no worries, Sophia. I'll find it out. Yeah.
Also, if you're looking at the notes that I put, Nado is basically the Japanese version of etc. or blah blah blah.
Oh, I'm suggesting that his one should be crystal balls, right? He's the crystal balls guy.
Well, no, because the first one will be, it'll just be about him, right? Like his ambitions.
Oh,
is
that how we did it?
Those are two different entries.
No. The first one is Gwydion's amphitheater. So the first one is an entry of the Fae, just like all the other ones. That includes like a location, and the second one is their ambition. So his one will be Venus's Room of Crystal Balls, and then it'll be Venus's Desires.
Oh, no. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, for example, with Ty Gwydion... Oh, well, Gwydion is the amphitheater first.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's kind of different from the other ones, though. Like, Ty Rosmeta, it's not a place. It's just a description of them.
Oh, I see. Rosmeta, the good supplier.
Yeah.
Seeds.
Opponent, I mean, we changed that to.
Oh yeah, so location. You're right. So then this should be here. Then this should be here. It should be a description of the house, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so that's his description of his house, right?
Okay, so you imagine it's like a weird fort filled with like glass and crystal balls and so on.
Yeah, and pearls.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. That let you see like you look through a pearl and you see through a pearl that's in a garden. And see like the necklace that the lady's wearing or something, you can see everything she sees. That kind of thing.
Sure. Wait. So you look through a pearl. Wait, are pearls translucent? Aren't they opaque? Like you look through are you saying you can look through a pearl and see stuff like that?
I'm saying whatever this thing is, it's very pearl-like. Yeah, you look into that and you see stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
It's magic, girl.
Yeah, well.
The opaqueness disappears.
Okay, yeah.
And
magic
reveals
stuff.
things. My TV is opaque at the moment.
How so?
Well, I can't see through it. It's right there.
You mean it's off?
It's just black. Yeah, it's off. Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you turn it on, suddenly you see things.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah. It's not so hard to imagine.
Okay, I'm trying to think of yeah, well, yeah, I'll work on it. I was also wondering whether or not there'd be like some fun kaleidoscopy type textures we could play around with.
Sure.
Which can sort of play into this vision aspect. I'll just write down kaleidoscope and see where we go. Kaleidoscope? Question mark?
Possible trader. Map work. Okay. I was done the second week I was away. Map work was done. Oh, thank you, Sophia. Wow. Yeah, okay. I'll look into that.
Sophia, the historian. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
God, that was already a month ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm already stuck on Vindonis. Maybe we should stop. I think I'm running out of energy. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah. Like I think this is a good start overall, and we can just like keep run through.
Yeah, we did a lot of really good stuff with the Afanc and the Ever Elder. I think that's the meat of it.
Yeah. I think we made some important choices for our lore.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, thank you guys for helping. Zilfia, thanks for reminding us. Shout out to the chat. Sorayuki, thanks for sharing your art. Jimtown Laundry, thanks for saying what's up. Darren, thanks for being my friend. And Kurt, thanks for keeping it together.
Yeah. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, chat.
We'll be back next.
No, we won't be back next week.
Yes?
I am not here next week. Bad
How
news.
dare you?
I know, bad news stream. On Wednesday, I am traveling to the Lake District with Jasmine and my mother, and we're staying there for a number of days. And if you follow my social medias, I'll post some photos because I will go and see. At least I plan to go and see some Neolithic standing stones.
So research.
Yes. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I'll be streaming solo next week, playing Fortnite, the new Bruno Mars edition. Are you aware of this?
I mean, I know that they've been adding celebrities, like Sabrina Carpenter, who I don't even know who she is, but yeah, things like that, yeah.
Well, one, you should rectify that because she's wonderful.
Is she?
And two, the new Fortnite skin is Bruno Mars. And I'm just like,
wow.
All right, go off, man. Go off, King. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, Zilphia says she's jealous that she can't see the stone. Thank you, Zilphia. Thanks.
Well, you'll see them through my posts. I'll put them on Discord and I'll touch them.
Yeah, you'll share. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks then.
Yeah. All right, cool. Awesome.
Sounds good.
Good work, Kurt.
All right. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Bye-bye.
Later, gang.